everybody. I'm here in Magome-juku in Gifu Prefecture, and I'm about to do the Nakasendo Trail. Actually, I'm doing it now because this is part of the entire Nakasendo road.
Magome-juku is a sight to behold even on a damp and misty morning. It's still quite early, so the stores have not yet opened, but a few tourists have already arrived. We're going to leave this lovely post town for now and hit the Nakasendo road and head off to a post town in Nagano Prefecture, Tsumago-juku. Anyone who plans to hike the Nakasendo might have already heard this advice. Bring a bell with you. There are some black bears living in the forest along the trail, and I've read that they usually avoid humans. But you have to give them a signal that you're on your way. So any kind of noise such as the clanging of a bell helps in keeping them aware of your presence. There are bells sold at the souvenir shops here in Magome-juku, or you can rent one from the Tourist Information Center.
Okay, so this is the entrance to the Magome post town, upper entrance.
From here, it's going to be slightly uphill for a little while.
And I think this is the notice board that they used back in the days to make announcements.
It's called the Kusatsuba, and the shogunate used it to announce official orders or regulations to towns. Look at this stunning view of Mount Enna and the autumn foliage here at the Jimba viewpoint. This is such a nice place to relax after climbing the slope.
Okay, let's continue.
You'll see a lot of bear warning all throughout the trail, like this one right here at the forest entrance.
So this is a warning for bears. Okay, I have a bell anyway. Oh, there you go. I'm actually trying to find the other travelers because I want to go with them because I'm alone. So good thing they're still here. So you have to ring the bell hard to shoo the bears away. So this is the road to Tsumago-juku.
The Nakasendo is one of the 5 major highways, or gokaido, built during the Edo period, which is from 1603 to 1868. These roads are traveled by feudal lords, samurai, merchants, messengers, and many more. 2 among these 5 highways connect Edo, now called Tokyo, which is home to the shogun and where the center of power is, to Kyoto, the home of the emperor. These roads are the Nakasendo and Tokaido. The name Tokaido might ring a bell to you because of the Tokaido Shinkansen, which in fact runs almost along the path of the ancient highway. Tokaido means Eastern Sea Route, and it runs along the Pacific coast. Although it's considered the easier and more important route back then, Nakasendo is considered safer since it's located inland and travelers won't need to cross bodies of water. Nakasendo means inner mountain route and passes through the mountainous parts of central Japan.
This one is quite light. The other bell was loud.
I was initially worried before coming to Japan. I really wanted to do the Nakasendo, but I wasn't sure if I could hike it alone. There are available tours online, but they're costly, and if you're a solo traveler, the price goes up even more. So I emailed the Magome Tours Information Center and asked if they organize group tours, and they said people just walk on the trail without any guide. But then, I was still a bit uneasy, visualizing the bears and all that I might encounter along the way. And true enough, I saw a lot of people, some solo travelers like me, go through the hike by themselves. Just like Anne and Nima, two travelers from Thailand who seem to love the outdoors very much. They're so warm and friendly, and we talked about a lot of things while doing the trail. In fact, we're still connected up to this day thanks to Facebook and Instagram.
Specials. It says here.
We've spotted this mysterious entryway to a garden with a sign that says, "You may go through my garden to Tsumago, but I have no responsibility for your disappointment." This reverse psychology thing is really working on me because now I'm ready to get disappointed. What a free-spirited, playful garden we have here. There's a lot of random things that most people would probably consider as trash, but here, they're put together to make up a quaint space. There's a small pond beside this house guarded by some cute and chubby cats. The person behind this clever and fascinating garden is the jolly and funny owner, Mr. Owaki, who's clad in a matching red kimono and pants and a pair of black rubber boots. He has long gray hair and a long gray beard and has a pair of vintage round glasses. Nakasendo, also known as Samurai Road, has a length of 540 kilometers, and the portion of the road we're walking on is called Kisoji because it runs through the steep Kiso Valley, surrounded by the Central Alps and Mount Ontake. It runs 80 kilometers starting Magome-juku until Niekkawa-juku in Nagano Prefecture. Kisoji covers a total of 11 post towns, including Magome-juku and Tsumago-juku. We have just reached the highest point of the trail from Magome to Tsumago, the Magome Pass, located 790 meters above sea level.
5.5 to go.
From here, the road to Tsumago-juku is a gradual downward slope.
So, I need to be in Tsumago before 4 p.m. so I can catch the last trip back to Magome. Oops, I almost tripped.
We have just stepped out of Gifu and entered a different prefecture, Nagano, and this part of Nagano is called Nagiso. On the Nagiso Tourism Association website, this town is described as a long-lost Japan rediscovered.
I think this is a stop for Nakasendo travelers. Let's see.
This is Ichiko Kutochi Tatebachaya, or Tateba Tea House, which has been around for more than 200 years. It's open to anyone who wants to rest and sip a cup of green tea for free. I love the idea of having this board where you get to draw your flag.
Oh, today all hikers, nice painters.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Can you guess?
Can you guess?
Starts with P.
P,
P.
P,
Fee.
P, Ferdinand.
Yay!
About this one.
And that's Toshi-san. I think he's one of the volunteers who man the tea house. He's an elderly gentleman who has such a contagious energy, welcoming visitors with a smile that lights up the room. The place is kept warm by a burning irori, or Japanese traditional sunken hearth used for both cooking and heating. On the table, there is a donation box made of bamboo. Hikers' donations help keep this wonderful place running. Toshi-san pointed at the streaks of light seeping through the wooden columns near the ceiling. He told me to stand at a spot where the light hits and ask for my camera. Nice shots, right? Mementos like this, which are products of human connections I made during my trips, are one of the things I treasure the most. Because you just don't know if you'll ever cross paths again.
Tateba Tea House. 4.7 kilometers to Tsumago.
As I continue my hike, I felt a sudden rush of happiness. I'm just so grateful to be here.
Walking.
This is one of the modern roads we had to cross along the way. Based on the Nakasendo walking map that I got from the Tourist Information Center, the Nakasendo route today is not 100% accurate as it was back then because some sections of the original road disappeared or were privatized or have become dangerous over time. We did a little detour and went down this not-so-steep slope, which is home to two mini waterfalls, Odaki, the female waterfall, and Medaki, the male waterfall. We passed by a little shrine built for the soul of Kurashina Soreisha, the chief vassal of the Lord of Matsumoto Castle, who, along with this man, was murdered by bandits on the spot in the late 1500s. The Nakasendo terrain has so many faces. At times, you're walking on the ground. Sometimes it's a paved road. But my favorite parts are the narrow and winding cobblestone road, the dirt track inside the forest, and the few instances where we had to cross a narrow wooden bridge. The surrounding is ever-changing too. The houses and markers in between tell a story about Japan's history. If you ever hike the Nakasendo, please don't rush. Take your time to stop at the spots which interest and awe-inspire you. Check the map and the walking guide in case it says anything about a particular place, and just open your senses and observe your environment. What are you stepping on? What does it smell like inside a forest? What trees do you see? And if you can't make sense of it because it's in Japanese, try to Google Translate it. I mean, don't just aim to get to your destination, but try to be more present. We've just came out of the mountainous parts of the trail and finally here at the floor of the Kiso Valley. We are getting closer to Tsumago-juku, and despite feeling tired because I've been walking non-stop since leaving the tea house, I'm feeling more excited. About 2 kilometers before you reach Tsumago-juku is a small village called Tsumago, where you will find a few traditional inns and houses. Compared to the inns at Magome-juku, the ones here are more rustic-looking and isolated. These are structures that are located closest to the trail inside the mountain. Some of the inns close during winter season for when the temperature can be unbearably cold despite the heating. This village is very rural, that even if this is Japan, I've not spotted a single vending machine yet.
Kilometers to Tsumago. Is this the one? Oh, okay. Entrance to...
Finally, after 5.5 hours of walking, we have arrived at Tsumago-juku, the 42nd post town from Edo. Another beautiful and well-preserved historic place here in the Kiso Valley that will make you feel as if you have slipped back in time. As you enter Tsumago coming from Magome, a small traditional confectionery shop called Sawadaya will catch your eye. It sells one of the best Japanese sweets I've ever tasted, the seasonal persimmon hurikinton, which is dried persimmon stuffed with sweet mashed chestnuts and is only available during autumn.
So I bought this for 370 yen. It has persimmon and chestnut. And they have free tea. It is light orange in person, but it's just that the lighting here is not so good. But you can see.
If Magome is elevated, Tsumago-juku is tucked deep in the valley, surrounded by mountains and offering a different vantage point. Here, you won't find any visible power lines, just as how it is back in time. Based on Nagiso Tourism Association's website, when the shogunate ended and the emperor regained his power in 1868, building of railways and more roads started, and eventually, Tsumago-juku lost its function and deteriorated. Its rehabilitation started in the late 1960s until it became a designated preservation site in 1976. To continuously protect the town, the residents of Tsumago follow strict preservation rules and principles.
This is the Tsumago Tourist Information Center.
Before I go, I need to return my bell and get my deposit back here at the Tourist Information Center. I also bought a certificate of hiking, which is a nice souvenir if you hike the Nakasendo.
I got my certificate of hiking at the Tourist Information Center. You can buy this for 150 yen. I also have the Japanese version.
I wish I had more time to spend in this lovely post town, but I have to catch the last bus that will bring me back to Magome-juku. Hiking the Nakasendo is more than just a bucket list adventure. This has been a healing and restorative experience for me, something that's good for the heart and soul. Slowing down, finding peace in nature, diving into history, and meeting other travelers. It felt like I just pushed my reset button. I hope this video has encouraged you to see this side of Japan. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with your friends. It means a lot to me. See you in the next video. Bye!